So have a seat. Come into forward, sitting forward bend. Yeah, that's it. Just do it. You're there. Yeah. So for the alignment of this, we're going to look at a couple things. We want straight legs if we can, right? Because then we're going to maximum stretch in the back of the legs, and that'll also, since the whole back side of the body is what we're getting stretch in, it's going to maximize the stretch in the whole back side of the body by having straight legs. One thing that happens when we do have the straight legs is if we do have tight hamstrings, it will limit the ability for the hips to fold forward. So we're going to be up a little bit higher. Whereas if she was to bend your knees a little bit, then she can get her upper back or back down more. But we're getting actually the same stretch overall. It's just the muscles in the low back would be able to get more stretch here. Straighten them out again.
Yep, there.
Yeah, so straight legs. We want the alignment of the feet to be flat as if they're against a wall. So sometimes they'll be turned out or folding forward or even turned in. We just want them nice and flat. Again, that will align the legs all the way up into the hips so that just we're bringing the alignment of the body back into balance. Otherwise, it's kind of like we just have a pattern, you know, and if we just continue to do that pattern, then we're not going to bring the body back into balance. But by focusing on some of these alignment things, we bring the body back into a balance. And we want to emphasize this tilting of the hips. So if we were to look at the angle of her hips, you know, they're pointing at about this angle, right? And then from here, there's a curve forward of the spine. So let's come up all the way until we have that. So just the tilt of the hips, and then this would be the straight spine. Some teachers like to just do this and have a really straight spine and just focus on the tilt of the hips. So adjustment for this is just to push the low back, and then you can reach forward but stay up. So do both, yep. So kind of almost like adding a little bit of a back bend to the forward bend here. I think it's fine to curl forward some, but we don't want to emphasize the curl forward. We're always so good at that, right? We're just like always sitting like this all the time. You know, at the computer we're like curling. So we need to actually emphasize this straightening of the spine. I think it's great to emphasize the straightening of the spine. We don't have to have the straightest spine ever in forward bend, but we want to have some energy straightening the spine and energy tilting at the hips. So it's quite simple to push here, and I can help to tilt farther forward. It gets a little bit more complicated when we're pushing up here, because which way do I want to push? Do I want to push this way, this way? I mean, ideally I would be kind of lengthening her spine this way and pushing this way at the same time, right? We want to lengthen the spine and push down. So oftentimes when we're doing this adjustment, we're going to be pushing down here and kind of working our way up, almost as if I could keep her shoulders back. Just pull your shoulders back away from the ears to keep the heart open. If I just push down here, oftentimes it's a closing of the heart. We want the opposite. We want this opening of the heart. So it's as if I could just like had, you know, 4 hands. Some hands here and then some hands here. Sometimes you can get in and try to do that. To lengthen the spine and straighten the spine and be able to push forward with the hip. We're at the hips. So any of these adjustments here are great to do. If nothing else, you okay staying in there?
Yeah. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, just stay there a little while. If nothing else, we can just bring the hand on and help people push farther forward. Or other intentions we can have for adjusting here, right? We could help them to relax. So not helping them go farther forward, but actually helping to release some tension. If we just release some tension in the shoulders. Even holding your hands there, bring your hands back on your toes. You could still release some tension just by intentionally bringing some awareness there. So this is the forward bend. It's a great pose to stay in for a long time. 15 breaths to 25 breaths to do that. Yeah, so let's do incline plane. So we can reach.
Anybody else?
No, you can do it.
Oh.
Is that okay? Yeah. So you were saying earlier that sometimes you get a cramp in your foot. So just be aware of that. So if you get the cramp, come right out.
I go like this.
Yep. So you can do that if you get the cramp. That's fine. So here we want the shoulders to hug behind. Yep, so the shoulders hug behind. We're lifting the heart, heart, higher. The knees come inward towards each other. We can kind of hug with the legs, and then just take the low back and we can lift up. And we can help support the pose here. So the feet ideally come towards flat onto the floor. If sometimes they don't come flat, that's fine. And then if you do get a cramp, you do that. So the alignment, if you come in again, I know it's hard to hold there for a while. Yeah, we want the shoulders over the hands. Yeah, shoulders hide behind. The neck sinking back is okay if it feels okay. Some people that's not great for, so we don't need to let the head fall back. Probably preferred way not to let it fall back these days, just because some people it hurts their neck. Yeah, nice hard pose to do. You can come down. The incline plane strengthens all the muscles in the back, right? Whereas the forward bend stretches all the muscles in the back. So it's a counter pose. So we don't always, but most of the time after we do forward bend, we do an incline plane afterwards. It's a counter. Thank you. Yeah, so for forward bend, again, straight legs, tilt at the hips, straight spine. Those are kind of the three things we're looking at. And then having enough structure and effort or focus in the body to keep that alignment, and then try to relax as much as we can around that. Still have a little effort reaching the heart forward right here, our heart sinking down. If I could somehow get our heart to lift up just a little bit, right? We'll get a little bit straighter spine. So we can push here to help her go farther. And then I want to relax her shoulders, keep her heart open, and get a little bit straighter. And then her feet aren't quite equal on each side. This foot is a little bit more forward. What if you take hold of the... Yeah. So we can have a slight internal rotation of the thighs here. That'll create a little bit more space for the hips to tilt. And we just rest here in the forward bend. As we do adjust, we can breathe with them, right? So inhale and exhale, we go a little bit farther. Inhale, we can reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold. And then as the body relaxes, she'll go a little bit farther, right? Pushing fairly hard here. And then we'll come out, we can reach the heart forward, reach the hands forward. Reach the hands forward and up. Come all the way up. Reach the hands forward. Hands forward and up.
Forward.
Lead. Yep, forward and up.
Okay.
Up, 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 up. There we go. Then we'll get that nice straight spine. And then bring the hands all the way back for incline plane. Yeah. So we can just take here and gently lift up. Providing some support, just allowing the pose to be a little bit easier, take less muscular effort. By lifting there, the knees coming inward, and that's great. You can come down. Thanks.